Yeah, hi everyone. So my name is Suresh Choksey. Actually, I'm here for the giving the training in the DevOps side. This is the DevOps and the cloud Kubernetes side. So this is the Kubernetes training series. So today's topic is the deployment and namespace. Okay, and till now we covered the part for pods and replicate set. Yesterday we covered the pods and replicate set and maybe we will provide you the yesterday these things, maybe YouTube sessions. Okay, and please go through these things. Oh, 1 minute, okay, 1 minute. Yeah, so deployment and namespace. And if you can see the you can use the chat GPT and this part. 1 minute, okay. And okay, okay, there is a pause option also. Okay, good. So if you can see here, till now we covered the replica set. So replica set, what is the replica set? Maybe if you can see the common feature of the replica set. If you want to learn the Kubernetes, so there is a chat GPT is very good way in which you can learn the replica set and any topic also. So what is the replica set? So till now we covered the pods option, right? In the pod, what is the use of the pod? We can use for the for container point of view, right? Suppose container, suppose if you want to deploy anything, if you want to use any applications, okay, and so you can use the pod, okay. So replica strategies, suppose if you want to use a pod or maybe for high availability, if you want to achieve high availability and reliability into the Kubernetes, so replica strategy is the best way. Okay. Suppose in your project there is some conditions you need to achieve, you need to run the three pod in any situation. So this is the desired state. Desired state means, okay, so replica set primary purpose is to maintain the specified number of the identical and the pod replicas. Okay, and replica set is a higher level abstraction designed to ensure and specify number of replica pods are running at all times. Okay, it is always make your minimum number of pods, minimum whatever number you have mentioned for in the configuration side. Kubernetes is making sure all the pods are running at all times. Okay, so suppose if any cases, if your all the pods are deleted, immediately within a second it will create the all the pods. Okay, so main feature, what is the key feature? Okay, desired state, there is a one if you can see the, we will look into the configuration side also. What is the desired state? Okay, and selector, in the selector replica set are label selected to identify the pods they should manage, and pod that manage the label selector define the replica set configuration are considered part of the replica set. Then we can scale down and scale up. Suppose in some of the situation, if your application is taking the lots of loads, lots of requests, then you can able to scale up within a time. And if due to some reason, if your service is not taking the loads, then you can scale down also. So it is very easy to scale up and scale down. Okay, and what is the other features? Pod template. The configuration of the replica set includes a pod template. This template defines the specification of creating the new pod when scaling is required. Suppose if you have the multiple pod in your company, and if you are in the Kubernetes, if you are using the 1000 pod in your projects, okay, but you need some feature in which you can monitor the all the pods. If any pods are maybe fail, immediately your maybe your replica set will create a new pod. But but among the, maybe in the so how do you decide what kind of pods should be monitor, right? What kind of pod should be scale up or scale down, right? So that's why so we need to mention the all the information of the pod in the template section. Okay, this is the thing. And controllers and self-healing, that means the replication of the controller, which means they continuously monitor the state of the pods and they manage and reconcile any discrepancy between the desired and the observed state. So generally, maybe in the interviewer will not ask the question of the replica set. Suppose maybe Dilip, if I will ask the question, hey Dilip, uh, maybe in my I have giving the one simple scenario. There is a lots of pods, and I want to make sure maybe I want to monitor the health check of the pod, and if any pods are failed, automatically new pod will create. So what kind of feature I will use in the Kubernetes, and what is the solution? Okay, so company generally giving the problem, and you need to give the solution. So in this case, what is your answer, Dilip?
We can create the replica set and specify the number of pods and what kind of pods we need it at all the times.
Okay, good. And how do you make sure, how do you match the pod and the replica set? Because something you need to mention in the pod also, and something you need to mention in the replica
Using the
set.
labels
Yes, yes,
in the YAML file.
yes. So whatever labels you are mentioned, just suppose you just like you are working in the department, right? You are working as a project, right? So always there is some monitor into the class level, right? Just like you have the monitor in your class in the right in the school time, you have the technical lead or team lead your team level, right? So team is your name, class is your name, right? So just like in the every part there is a labels, okay, in the label, and we need to mention the where we can mention the label in the metadata. Just like if you can see here in the metadata template section, there is a labels. We need to mention the tire, your department name, your configuration type, your application type, any kind of common thing you can mention. Okay, and whatever things you are mentioned in the maybe in the template, same thing you can mention in the selector. Just like in the selector, match label is a you want to match with the application name. You can mention the suppose there is app example app. Okay, suppose, but maybe you have the multiple application, but you want to match with the your department. Common configuration, common thing between the monitoring tools or your application tool, right? And suppose maybe company will ask another different kind of question. Hey, maybe I want to. He will not ask the question about the monitoring, maybe in the or maybe self healing. He can say, I want to. What is a tool we can use for monitoring point of view, for health check monitoring point of view? Okay. So what are the tools we can use in the Kubernetes? What is the feature we can say, right? So he will not give you the keywords. What is the keyword here? Replicas. What is the keywords is the maybe selector. What is the keywords are maybe auto healing or high ability. But it will give you the different keywords, right? Now, what is the different keyword here? We want to monitor the all the parts of we want to monitor the health check of the parts. Okay, but I want to monitor specific of the specific parts. Okay, so how we can monitor? Okay, and can you create a configuration file? Do you got it? What is the question, and what kind of question can ask in the interview?
Yeah.
Okay, so if they will ask the monitor, you should give the answer replica set. If they can ask the question for the auto healing high ability, okay, so you can ask this question, right? Okay, and maybe how we can make sure if I have the three part, right, always three parts will run. Okay, and suppose how we can scale up, scale down. Okay, so scaling also, suppose if anybody is asking the question scaling, okay, so you should give the answer, right? Generally people are using the terminology scaling high ability. People will ask the question, hey, maybe how do you achieve the high ability in the Kubernetes? Now, till now you have not, you if you don't know about the high ability, you can't give the exact answer, right? Right, so what is the feature you need to use for high ability, right? Do you understand?
Yeah.
So these are the basic commands. kubectl get replica list of the all replica sets in the current namespace. kubectl get replicate list of the replica sets. Same kubectl get replicate set on o wide. Override means if you want to check these things. So it is better we can maybe in the quickly we can cover the part. Okay. 1 minute. Okay. So I will, why it is not happening? Oh, yesterday we clean, right?
Yeah, we did.
I thought. Oh. So now, so for whenever we want to implement, what is the first process we need to do? We need to create a cluster, right? So how do you create a cluster? So we have the very simple document here. Okay. So G cloud container cluster create cluster name, number of nodes, zones, enable IP aligns. So I should understand these things. Okay. First is the thing G cloud. Okay. Container cluster create cluster. Okay. And number nodes. Okay. Num nodes is equal to what is the thing? 3, right? Num nodes. Always first part, whenever you want to pass any environment variables, always use double hyphen. Okay. Double hyphen num nodes 3, double hyphen zone, US central 1A, double hyphen enable IP aliases. Okay. So num nodes, how many number of nodes we want to create? 3. What is the zone you want to use? Maybe US central 1A. Let me check the name one more time. Okay, 1AA. Okay, now enable IP allies. Okay, enable IP allies. Let's see what is the thing it is giving. Okay, so meanwhile it is working. Okay, and it is taking some time. So maybe with the help of this command we can easily create the things. Meanwhile we can see the all the commands of the cluster replica set. Okay, so how do you get the replica set? If you want to see the list, kubectl get replica set -o wide. Okay, anything you want to describe, right? So what is the use of describe? Suppose if you want to check the all the details of the pod, all the details of the replica set, so we can use the describe command. Okay, so kubectl describe replica set. Okay, replica set name. Okay, so these are the viewing point of view. So viewing replica set, managing replica set, that means okay, suppose scale up, scale down, kubectl scale replica set name, and how many replicas set count, right? Replicas count. And if you want to add it directly, so you kubectl added replica set and replica set name. You can delete also. Now with the interacting with the pod controller by replica set. Okay, so list pod control by replica set. So kubectl get pods with selector. Okay, so if you want to see the maybe list of the pods with the selector. So okay, so suppose these are the selector and you want to check the with the label. Okay, suppose you have the 1000 pods and you want to see the pods which are using by the which monitor by the replica set. Got it? So you can give the this kind of thing. Now delete pod control by replica set. Suppose if you want to delete by the selectors, just like you want to get the list, similar kind of thing you can delete also. These kind of question they can ask. Maybe in the interview they can give the different condition, different scenario. Okay, and now in the monitoring point of view, okay, how we can monitor? kubectl get replica set -v in the watch. Continuously it is watching and it will give the some answer. Okay, and check rollout state after the scaling or updating. Suppose if anything is if suppose if you are scaling and something is failed, if you want to roll out the thing in the previous state, Suppose now currently you have the three pods, and you update it into the number of 5 state. Now, due to some issues, pod number 4 and 5 is not working, and now you want to roll out the previous state, previous number. So rollout is up, it will roll back to the previous version. Okay. Now roll back to these things, roll out on the these things. Sorry, roll out, check roll out state, and after the, oh sorry. So my bad. The rollout is the scaling. Suppose if you want to roll out the this part, maybe in the, we will try this part, replica set. After the scaling or updating, oh, if you want to after the scaling updating, if you want to roll out the, you want to check the status of the this thing, and if you want to roll out the whatever things you have roll back to the previous version revision, if a deployment used with, we will cover this in the deployment today's part. These are the deployment features. Okay. And advanced topic, examine the raw configuration of these things. So suppose if you have the replica set, but you don't have the YML file. So if you, with the help of the any configuration file, any working part, and if you want to convert into the YML, you can easily convert into the kubectl get replica set name. And if you want to see the configuration of the replica set, you can convert into the YML directly, YML. Okay, and apply. Now we can check it is working or not. It is still working. Now today's topic is the deployment. So what are the benefits of the deployment? So why we are doing the deployment? So in Kubernetes, deployment is an object that provides declarative updates to application, and deployments allow you to describe an application life cycle, such as which images to use for app, number of pod replicas, the way of the update them, and deployments are higher level abstraction. So what is the meaning majorly after the replica set, right? After the replica set, suppose maybe in the replica set you can scale up, scale down. Okay, but you want to suppose you have the version you have already upload the version 1. Now you want to update the version 2, but you can't upgrade the version immediately. You need to make sure whenever you are upgrading the versions pod by pod, you can check the thing. Okay, so here very good description also, and I have good 1 minute step. There is very good documentation, replica set. Okay. Scaling, rollback, this thing. Just 1 minute. Deployment. So if you can see in the deployment section, okay, suppose you have the number of pods, 10 pods, okay, and if you want to upgrade maybe upgrade the version from V1 to V2, generally there is a lot of different process in the this part, deployment strategy. We are calling the rolling update. Sometimes we are calling the blue-green deployment. Sometimes we are calling the canary deployment. So there is a 2 or 3 types of these things. So rolling update is the, so suppose you have the 10. Okay. So rolling update, whenever maybe in the deployment you want to deploy one by one. So so maybe out of 10, first it is upgrade into the V2, then the second, then third, one fourth, and fifth. If immediately is failed, right? If immediately is failed, then maybe it will roll back to the previous version. Okay, so this is the feature of the deployment. With the deployment configuration, we can mention the what kind of deployment you want to do it. Okay, this is the one of the feature. And internally deployment are using the replica set also. So what is the meaning of the replica set? If any deployment are failed, any pods are failed, automatically it will create a new feature. Okay, so with the help of the deployment, you can upgrade the version, you can roll back the version, you can use the replica set, you can scale up, scale down, all kind of features you can do it by the deployment. Okay, so if you can see the configuration layer, deployment is the top layer, under the replica set, under the pods. Okay, so same feature, whatever feature we are using, whatever configuration we are using yesterday in the replica set, we need to mention similar configuration, just we need to mention the kind is the, rather than replica set, we can mention the kind as a deployment. Okay, this is the only feature. And what is the command? How we can create a deployment? Create command. How we can get the deployment? Get command. How we can get the replica set? Get command. Okay, these kind of thing we can see. And if you want to see the all the list, so there is another command, kubectl get all command. Okay, so now we can check. Now, so we have the maybe we have already created the cluster. So basic thing we can check. We first we can check the kubectl gets nodes. How many nodes we have? We should validate the all the things, whether it is created properly or not. How many we have pods? 0, right? How many we have the replica set? Nothing, right? How many deployment we have? Adjective? Nothing, right? That means now, so nodes is created. Okay, now we want to create a maybe replica set, right? So yesterday we have already completed the part. So if we can go in the K8 as ls command, we have the demo. Okay, ls command. Okay, so we have the this part, right? Part definition and replica set dot yml. Okay, so in the replica set yml, we can see the what is the replica set configuration. We can see the replica set apps -v1 kind is the replica set. What is the metadata? What is the name of the what kind of information we are storing in the metadata? All the information related to the maybe replica set. Just like what is the name of the replica set? My replica set. Okay. What is the label? Suppose if you want to use the suppose if you have the multiple replica set, so you can attach the replica set with the any application, any department. In what department replica set will work? Okay, so these are the labels. So label is the identification and department of your this thing, common features of the replica set. Okay, now in the spec part we are using for the specification of the pod. Okay, and common feature, just like in the spec we are using the template we are using for the pod configuration. So in the template, so under the template there is a metadata. And the metadata, so what kind of pod we need to monitor? Okay, so name, what kind of pod you need to monitor? Name. Then what kind of pod you need to monitor? The labels, app, my app, type, front end. Okay, and what kind of container you need to monitor? Suppose in some of the pods you have the multiple container, but you want to monitor only specific container. You can mention these things. Then how many replicas you need to create? That means how many pod you want to monitor, create continuously? 5. And then selector is with the help of selector you can match the pods, right? Selector, match label, type, front end. Now how to create the pod replica set? kubectl create -app. Okay, so how to get the list? Okay, 5 is created. And how to check whether the pods are created or not? kubectl. Okay, these things. Okay, so running. So 5 pods are already created. Similar kind of thing we can create in the deployment also. Okay, so how to create the deployment? Same, first of all we will create a file. Okay, same thing. We will create one more file we need to convert here. Demo. So did you use the editor with Dilip?
Yes, for creating the cluster, I used it.
Okay. So now what is the 4 keywords we need to use? What is the 4 mandatory keywords? One is the API version. Second is the kind. Third is the metadata.
Spec.
Fourth is the spec. These are the mandatory. Okay. Now what is the API version? apps-v1. Okay.
This one app/v1, is it like we need to give the same thing or can it vary?
So no, because in the feature version, right? Maybe Kubernetes has there is a two kind of v1 and apps v1. Some of the features are available on the v1, just like pod.
Okay.
Okay, but Replicaset and the deployment, they are not available in the v1. So they are available under the application level layer. Okay, so apps under the v1. Okay.
Understood. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. And kind always name is the caps deployment. Okay. And the metadata, what is the information we need to store? In the first is the name,
image information.
Okay. My deployment. Okay. And it is always small. Okay. Then labels. Okay. Then what is the app you want to use? For which app you want to use? My app. Okay. And suppose which department you want to use. So you can mention anything. Okay. And okay, so labels metadata is completed. Okay, now for spec part. Okay, and always use a space. Okay, or tab. Now in the spec there is a multiple part. One is the template. In the template we can use for pod configuration. In the pod configuration under the same thing, right? Metadata of the this is the metadata of the pod. Okay, so same thing. Name, what is the name we want to use? My pod. Okay, and labels, what labels it needs to check. Okay, app, which app it is belong? My app, same configuration. Tire, please type configuration every day because you can remember the thing, right? Otherwise it's very difficult to remember the thing. Now metadata is completed. One part tab goes to the here. In the same parallel thing, we need to create a spec. Always remember who is the parent, who is the child. Okay, so you need to create the sibling of the metadata under the child of the template. Okay, in the spec, what is the thing? First is the containers. Okay, in the containers we can create a multiple container. That means hyphen is the array list, right? So how we can create? Name, Nginx, okay, tab, image, Nginx. Okay, this part. Now spec is completed. Now metadata part is completed for pod. Now, but how many pods we need to check? So we need to get the specification under the spec, right? So what is the first? Is the replicas. How many replicas we need to create? 5. Okay, suppose. And second is the whatever configuration we have mentioned in the this part, maybe in the replica, same thing. First is the selector, then in the match labels. Okay, and after that same, right? We can mention the tire also. We can mention the this thing. Okay, tire and okay, so this thing. Okay, now we can check. Okay, and suppose maybe previously in the Replicaset previous concept we have already mentioned the front end. Now we want to mention the different. Otherwise already 5 pods is already created, right? So in this case, because it will check whether the 5 pod is created or not, if they are already available, it will not create new pod. So we can check the tire. Okay. So now in the different department, we want to check the backend. Okay. So we have the different replica set for the front end and different replica set for different deployment for the backend. Okay. Now we have the backend is available, and backend is available. Okay. Now we can check the configuration. ls command cat deployment. Okay. Now we can check each and everything is perfectly matching. How we can create it? Simple thing, right? Create. Okay. Have hyphen with the help of deployment file you can create with the help of hyphen web app deployment dot this. Okay. Now we can see the kubectl get all command in which automatically we can check the all the details. Okay. So what it is giving the pod level. So how many pods are created? So first, previously I told you, right? So this is a replica set for front end point of view, right? Front end department. So 5 already created. Now it is created different one, right? Pod hyphen my deployment and the name and then 5 different because tire name is a different, right? Backend. Got it? Tire is a different. Okay. Because I have not mentioned the in the selector match label. If you can see, if I will mention the app name, the my app, then it will not create because number of pod is already available, or it will monitor. But in this case, okay, because it will check whether the tire backend number of 5 pod are already created or not. If they are not created, then it will create. If out of the 5, if 3 are already available, then it will create 2 pod. So it will make sure, so whatever match enable you have mentioned, it should be available. And if you can see, Replicaset 2 is already created, right? So deployment is mentioned here, service available here. It will give a service. We will cover the next week topic. And Replicaset dot apps, my deployment, and my Replicaset, right? With the help of these things, you can see. Now we can check the any part. We can delete any part and we can check whether it is created or not. Okay. How we can check? Suppose I want to delete the any part. Okay. Delete. Okay. Pod. Pod my that 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 one key. Okay, there is no need to specify resource type or separate argument when passing argument is the name form. Okay, gate instead of gate. Okay, so you say resource this thing. Okay, so there is no need to mention the resource name. We can directly mention the resource name directly. Yeah. Okay, not found. Okay, 1 minute. Okay, qctl get pod. So what is the name? Okay, kubectl. Okay, and delete pod my replica set hyphen z 8 b 1 oh 1 g. Oh, here why? Let me try one more time. Delete pod. Yeah. What was the problem? Any difference? Are you able to see?
No.
Okay. See pod. Let's see. 6 should be available, right? So 6 automatically delete. If we are deleting the, suppose we have the deployment, okay, get rs command, we have the 2 replica set, right? So if we can
Yeah.
delete the replica set old one, my one, automatically pod will delete, right? So we will delete the replica set, delete replicas, okay, okay, and replicas and my replica set, okay, it will delete. Replica set. Okay, the server did not have the resource type replicas. Okay, set. Okay, okay, replica set. Okay, so kubectl get rs command. Okay, so now in this condition we need to check the thing again. We can check the number of pods or how many pods are available. Okay, so now this thing, and I will ask the common question to what is the common commands of the deployment. Let me check, at least we can do the practice. What is the thing? What are the common? Okay, kubectl commands for thing. Okay, so get deployments. Okay, so we know the get deployments. Get deployment wide. Okay, describe managing scale down deployment scale replicas name edit set image. Yes, this is the new thing we need to explore. Rollout also, pause, resume, rollout, undo deployment. Okay, delete deployment, get pods, delete pod, get deployment -w and rollout status, get deployment, apply, rollout, restart. Okay, so now how to upgrade the version? How to upgrade or version with deployment time rolling deployment file. Okay, so this part, suppose locate the section where you container image version is specify it typically looks like. Oh, so we can mention the image version, right? Suppose whenever we are upgrading the this one, right? Maybe tag name, right? Suppose you have the tag name, previously you deploy that image name in the container part, previously 1.0, now you are creating the 2.0, right? Then automatically it will upgrade the things. Got it? Got it? So you can check the version. Okay, this is the way you can mention the these things, rollout status and these things. Any question till now? At least we can try some of the commands. Okay, scale down, we can check.
Suresh, can you tell that rollout thing again, please?
Yeah. I am always check. So we can do one thing. We can create a real-time practice. Okay. First of all, we should have the Docker version. Okay. So we need to check we should have the Docker, and then we can do the practice. Okay. We have Docker, and do we have the any Docker file? Okay. 1 minute. Yes, we have the Docker. So just demo also and this also. So just demo. Okay. So we need to check the version also. Okay. Okay. So we need to check the Docker project Docker file. Okay. 8081 server.js1. Okay. Okay. Hello world v1. Okay. And previously I have copied the in this node v1. Okay. So first of all, we will upload the Docker this part. Okay, Docker image into the where in the Docker hub. Okay, and then first we will upload the Docker hub, and then whenever we will upload the we will use the image in the deployment side. Then after that we will upgrade the Docker image version. And once we will upload the Docker version, then initially level we can check whether the what is the rollout status. So currently in the rollout status without Docker version we can check the what is the meaning of the rollout. Okay, just give me 1 minute. Okay, let's check. Okay, QCTL, we have a deployment. So what is the thing to do? Okay, and we can check what is the use of the deployment and stage. So that's fine. Yeah. Real time full out and deployment. Okay. Okay. So what is the meaning? So certainly let's assume that you have the deployment name web app and you want to perform the rolling update. Here is the example this. Okay. So first is the web app name. We have the web app name. Web app. We are using the your image old version. Okay. Then apply and rollout status. Rollout status. This command will continuously display the rollout status. Oh, so suppose if whenever we are updating the this thing, na rollout means whenever we are upgrading the status, right? It will continuously check the status of the deployment. We will do one more time and we can check. Okay. Suppose maybe in the rollout status. Okay, my deployment. No. Okay. So deployment successfully roll out. Suppose you have the 15 pods, okay, 15 pods, and if you are upgrading the version, okay, so generally it is doing by one, okay. Generally it is doing by the one. Suppose you have the 100 pods and you want to upgrade from version 1 to version 2, okay, version 1 to version 2. So it is upgrading one by one, two, three. So immediately in the rollout session, you can check maybe all the parts are upgraded or not. All the parts. Okay, so we can check these things. Now we can check the during the testing, right? We can do it. Now we have the Docker file. First, we will check Docker file. Okay, in the Node.js demo, we have the Docker file. Okay, and Docker file we can check the server.js. We have the v1, right? Now we need to create a Docker file. Docker hub. Okay. Not Docker node demo. Okay. Okay, so I think we should have the Docker this part. Let me check. Where is my image? Okay. Okay. So I will tag here. So what is the version previously I was using? V1. Okay. Now we can use this part Docker build hyphen t. Okay. Node demo. Okay. So what is the process, Rohit? Do you understand this process? What we are trying to do? Yes. Okay. Now what is the next step? Tagging, right? So tag node hyphen demo. Okay. What is the name? My Docker node demo. My Docker node demo v1. Okay. Now Docker pull. Okay. My Docker node demo v1. Okay. It is updated. Now we can check the version. So v1 is available here. Okay. Okay. Now we can check another deployment file. Okay. So what is the thing? We need to go in the ls command. Okay. And cd dot pwd. Anushka, are you there?
Yes.
I know you are not able to understand properly, but just understand the thing, okay? And maybe next week or next week I will cover this part properly, okay? So this week I will start again, okay? So demo. So what is the thing we are doing? At least you can ask the question if you are not able to understand. Okay, so create demo. We will create a demo node deployment YML. Okay, so we have this part. We can check same thing API version dot apps v1 kind deployment metadata. Okay, name node deployment. Okay, okay, labels app web app. Okay, so we can give this part is done. Okay, spec part is available. Okay, in spec template, then metadata. Okay, so metadata is the name. Okay, node pod, not pod, okay, labels, okay, app, web app, okay. So only web app we need to mention, okay. Then metadata part completed. Then spec, containers, okay. Here we need to mention node, demo, demo, pod, okay. Image, which image we need to use? My Docker node demo, okay. So we are using the same image, okay. Now container is done, spec is done,
Replicas.
okay. Here we need to mention the replicas. So we will create a replicas 10, okay. Selector, match label, match label, okay. What is the thing? App, web app, right? So everything done.
Yeah.
File is created. Now open terminal. You can check the file. It is available, is not, okay. Cat command, okay. So now we can create kubectl, create -f, or what is the thing? Okay, node.
Node deployment.
Yeah, it is created. Immediately we can check the pod. Okay, it is created. Now we can check kubectl rollout status deployment, okay. Node hyphen deployment, okay. If you can see, waiting for the deployment, node deployment rollout to finish, right? Are you able to see?
So what it does when it says rollout?
Rollout means, suppose you have the 100 application, right? And it is
Yeah.
giving the status. Rollout status means you are upgrading the version or whatever things, right? So people generally asking the status summary, right? How many application deployed, how many applications. So if you can see, rollout to finish 0 of 10, 1 of 10, 2 of 10, it will give the summary of the deployment.
Okay, so like how many pods are available if anything fails or something like that.
Yeah. And so now in terms of, now we will upgrade the thing, okay, again. So if you can see the 1 minute. Okay. So suppose I want to check anything, okay. kubectl 1 minute. So we have the multiples, this part, right? Node deployment. And we want to check the image name. What image name it is using for node size, right?
Yeah.
kubectl
Describe.
describe pod, okay. Now I want to check the do you know grab command, grab image,
No. Okay.
okay. Okay, if you can see, in the grab command, generally in the describe command, what is the meaning? This is the very simple command of the Unix. Suppose in the describe, it will give the complete information, complete. But
Okay.
in the complete information, I want to search only the
Image.
particular
Okay.
keyword. So what is the
Understood.
keyword here? This is the image, right? This is the sentence, right? So it will find the word and it will pull the complete sentence, complete line. Okay. So with the help of the grab, because I want to, because describe is a very big part, right? I
Yes.
don't want to check the complete describe. Okay. I want to check the in that describe what is the image, what is the thing I use this part graph image. So immediately wherever image word is used, it will pull the complete line. Okay, so pulling image. Okay, and what is the version we, okay, my mistake. Okay, so in the deployment side, so what is the thing we use? Okay, let me check the, oh, we have not mentioned the version. Now we want to edit the deployment. Okay, we need to mention the v1 version. Okay, deployment node deployment. Okay, here we want to upgrade the version here. What is the version? v1. Okay,
Okay. You are not editing the YAML file, isn't it?
why? Edit cancel, no valid changes here saved. Oh, why? Copy up.
You did not do .yaml when you do the command kubectl edit deployment.
No, previously yesterday I was done it. Oh, deployment side it is not available. Okay, okay. So this thing we need to check the how we can do the.
No, you did not open the YAML file, Suresh.
Yeah, I can open the YAML file, but I need to check whether I need to delete the again or what is the thing I need to check. Okay, let me check. Suppose I have the old version, right? I have the old version. Okay, and original file and rollout status, and if I will again update it deployment, updated deployment of YAML file. Okay, so let me check. Okay, suppose I have already the file. Okay, here I will update v1. Okay, and directly if I will apply pptl apply open no pptl. Okay. Resource deployment node deployment is missing to the kubectl last. Okay, which is required by kubectl apply kubectl. Use only the resources created declarative by another creator or something. Notation will be patched automatically. Configure. Okay, now we can check roll out status deployment or deployment rollout. Okay, okay, so maybe we need to check the command. It should be mentioned the describe command. No, something is here. Okay, I need to check how to edit the existing, how to edit existing deployment without delete deployment and pause. Tutorial edit command. Right? So previously I have done the previous command edit. Okay, edit. Make the necessary changes. This command will open the deployment configuration file to your default text editor. Set changes such as updating the container image version, modify labels, and adjust all the application to modify this part and the image file new version. Save the changes. Okay. Save the changes in the text editor and close the editor. Okay, and if you are using node, you can use the control plus X, confirm the changes by pressing Y, and then yes, okay, nano, okay, control plus X, control plus X, and pressing Y. Okay, let's check one more time. Okay. Okay, so what is the thing? CTL at deployment. Okay, so now we want to check edit node deployment. Okay, so V1 is available, but why it is not reflected in the there? Okay, if you can see here, rolling update, right?
Yeah, I can see. Yeah.
Yeah, but it should be edit changes, no changes made. Okay, but
Should we edit in the YAML file?
I'm also checking node deployment 10 by 10. Okay, let me check the status. QCTL. Replicas are updated or not? Replicas should be updated, right? Describe. Okay, node. Okay. What I will do. Replica. Okay.
You missed a N there.
Oh, sorry. Okay, so here the event put 4 minutes before created pod. But what images it is using? Okay, what images it is using? Selector, app, part, deployment, path, replicas, images, V1. Okay, so that means changes reflected. Yeah. Okay, replica set is
Yeah.
updated. V1.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Now we want to check why pods are not reflected. Okay. So this kind of thing, this is the troubleshooting we need to do in the Kubernetes. Got it? So why pods are not reflected?
Maybe they are reflected.
Okay, maybe if I will delete one pod, if I will delete all pod. Okay. First of all, we can check whether it is reflected now, or maybe on the after the delete it will reflect. So automatically it should be reflected automatically. If it is not uh, reflected, then I can delete the part and then I will check. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
changed to.
yeah. So
Yeah,
it
it is
might be
reflected.
during that time.
Yeah,
Now,
probably.
yeah. Now I want to roll back the undo. Okay. Suppose I want to undo. I want to go in the back person. Okay. Back version. Okay. Roll out. Status. Deployment. Node. Deployment. Okay. It is roll out successfully. New version run. Now I want to roll out the undo. Okay. Means old version.
So what happened in the first rollout?
Rollout is successful when all the versions are deployed. Okay, we will check in the sequentially. First of all, I need to check what is the thing. Okay, rollout, undo. Okay, and deployment, node, deployment, rollback. Okay, now again status. Okay, so the rollback. Okay, so how we can check? kubectl get deployment. Okay, we can check the what is the version it is using. Okay, describe deployment node deployment hyphen dash image.
Yeah.
No, why? 13 minutes. No, our replica set is the right. 49 seconds, right?
Yeah, the bottom one maybe.
If you
Okay,
can
it is
see,
using the previous one only. It's not using V1.
scale down. Okay, and where is the image? Image list, right?
Inside containers, yeah.
Yeah. Now we can check the rs command. Okay. So deployment is rollback. I need to
So
check
now if
the
you do the undo, it should go back to V1, right?
no. Undo is just back. There is no undo. We can undo from new version to old version. That's it. Okay.
Okay, then what? Yeah, that's what. Like, we did a rollout first. What it did?
Rollout means the upgrade version.
Okay.
Old to
Understood.
new. Undo is
Okay,
the new to old.
okay.
Now we want to check the replica set. No, still it is not reflecting. Replica set is the still deleting. Okay. Oh, it is deleting the applications, replica set, and then it is created one by
Creating
one.
the new one, probably it will take some
That's
time, I guess.
that's why it is taking the time. Okay. Here if you can see, combine the this thing. Okay. So if you can see the okay. So now if you can see previously it was deleted. Now this is the new one. Previously it was the this one and 000. Okay, 9 minutes. Okay, and previous whatever version is available previously 14 minutes, right? 9 minutes before we create this one. Now this is the new one. Sorry. Okay. 251. Right. Pause. Okay. Here image is roll out. Okay. So now combine the similar events in this and pods is also created. Now you can check the pod. Okay. Okay. Now everything is clear. Now we can check the this one. Scribe pod. Okay. Grab image. Okay. Done. Okay. So till today, sorry, I'm not able to cover the namespace, but it is a good session for the deployment point of view. Okay, how we can roll out, how we can roll back, right? And what is the relation in the replicas in the deployment and the pod. So please try all the things. Okay, and maybe if you can try all the possible things, you automatically understand the this thing. And this is the work we are doing in the as a DevOps or SRE. That's why maybe this is a very important topic for the DevOps point of view and SRE point of view. Okay, Lip,
Yeah,
and you can do lots of practice. Replicas is very much important, and the this part is very much important. At least you can do multiple times practice. Okay. Okay. So thanks for the sessions. Maybe next week we will try to cover the more and more topic, and maybe maybe we can cover the topic. Okay. Please go through the previous session. I will record this session, and I will upload the session on the YouTube. Okay. Please follow my YouTube channel and the subscribe also. Okay. Thanks a lot.